Drawwallers, shot callers, and everyone in between. Drywall fighting. And you know what I say? Sometimes, like, not making weight at all is better than making weight, you know? Like, it actually takes more courage to miss the weight and have all of that attention on you, you know? Like, I hate the attention. I don't, like, I hate that people had to see me, you know, walk on the scale almost half dead. But, you know, it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of perseverance to do what I do. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm so tired of so many aspects of this sport, whether it's the White House fight not happening, maybe, or, you know, Chimaev going out there and sleeping on Dreykus for 5 rounds, or, you know, whatever other gripe we can find about this sport, that pay-per-views might actually be back, because, you know, that's how it is. It's just, it's all smoke and mirrors with this organization. Then you add to it that these guys just refuse to make weight. And Brian, God bless his soul, he's an enlightened individual. I mean, definitely could sell a multi-level marketing, like fitness and training and yoga. He'd be great. He'll TED Talks. But we got guys missing weight. And then we're cutting battle, which I get it. He's a problem child. He's outside of your local gas station, picking fights, skateboarding around and breaking in windows. Like, man, this sport just continues to be blow after blow to the fans. But this is a great card. We have Charles Johnson, Energy, Skullet Gang. We have some Drywall Contender Series guys taking on each other. You're going to see loser leaves town. But we need somebody. We need some people at 205. We need bodies at 205. And I think this fight's going to show it. Just show it. Just show it, Coach Visitor. But let's get started. There you have it. We're in China. So these fights are going to be like 1 a.m. That's fun. I like that. I'll take it. I like that the Chinese and Asian fighters, like those, they're great. I mean, we see it. We see what they're doing. And this card is going to have some stat guys. Co-main, as we already mentioned, the Ortega debacle, and Aljamain kind of complaining about having to fight 5 rounds. I don't think he's going to like that. Walker getting served up cold for Zhang. Should be fun. Should be fun. Let's go bottom to top. We're going to do our picks. And here we go. We're kicking off. This is what we're after, you know, we finish our power brokering deals and talking about venture capital. We're gonna kick off the night with the Drywall Contender Series fight. We have NURGOZHAY taking on SATYBALDIEV. Drywall Contender Series fight. It's just a great one. Uran went up to 265, fought Martin Buday. Like, I feel like that was like they just put that fight together out of thin air, and he went up there. You could argue he beat Martin. It's just that Martin was able to kind of clinch fuck him and wrestle him around. But this guy was awesome. He kind of won me over. A lot of output, clean boxing, keeps things straight, which we like. I like a guy that's fights in proportion to their body. And so using those long tools, he's great at that. And DR, man, this guy broke my heart. But I think I might go back to the well. But he broke my heart against Brenson Ribeiro. Right? He fought Ribeiro. And that was he figured him out, like, with the kicking. And DR isn't as fast as I thought he would be. Yeah. And Brenson, who had been put out brutally by Zhang, and I thought was on his way out of the UFC, came out, showed levels against DR, and also dealt with DR's wrestling pretty well. Just not as explosive as I thought he was. Really won me over in the Contender Series. I just thought he was somebody that I could see eye to eye with. You know, we don't, outside of doing the pod, we don't talk much, just simple life. Definitely lower IQ, very low IQ. Probably dropped on our heads a lot as kids. But we fight through it. Like, we bite down. So I thought we were kindred spirits, but maybe not. But I have been thinking about this fight. Why do I want to go back to DR? Why do I want, when I know that I've seen something really special out of Uran, and I know that Boudet, they cut him, but that was a bad cut from the UFC. And he gave him hell, and he was a big man, and he's able to land, and he can wrestle. He can wrestle. He wasn't able to get taken down. Like, he got taken down, but he got up. And then the clinch against such a big guy. I mean, Martin's all of 265. Like, and so I'm gonna go against my heart. I'm gonna go against my heart. I'm gonna think with my head here. What do I think the odds are? I do think DR is probably the favorite. Probably like minus 300, minus 200. What? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, looks like I do know what I'm doing. And then let's talk about our bets. To begin with, I don't think he KOs him. I think he decisions him. Our bets are our greater value, better choice. That would be an example of a greater value, better choice. But honestly, probably not. But pretty much anything that's like kind of chalky, you're gonna, the juice is gonna be there. It's gonna be significant, but you're gonna get paid out. And your next bet would be your ass shaker moneymaker. That's going to be your long shots, your plus 500s and plus 400s, whatever. And then you have your dog barking off the collar. That's going to be your underdog bet. We routinely are just smashing our head off the goalpost with these. It's special around here. Check the tape. But let's move on. I do think it's going to be a tough fight. If DR does get to that wrestling and is able to be aggressive, which didn't see that a lot in his last fight against a quick guy, which will be Uran as well. If he's able to do that, though, he could win, but I'm going to go with Uran. I think that he was able to, he's a big dude. He's quick. He's got good boxing. I'm going to ride. Let's move on. RONGZHU taking on Su Young Yu. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a great wrestling / grappling matchup. RONGZHU, start off with him. He came into the UFC and showed a lot of levels. I did not expect that against Quang Lee because I liked Quang. And that was crazy, bro. I liked him. And he just smashed him. And this guy fought against Pretty Boy Gutierrez, yeah. And he gave him hell, but he went out there, and then look, he's bounced back against Gaston Boulogne. He's like, great win, honestly, from RONGZHU. Did not expect him to have that kind of power. He's more just like a wrestler, but he pulled it out of the bag. On the other side, Su Young Yu, I think I've also bet against this guy. Like, thought that, man, great grappling. This guy's grappling is sticky, very sticky. But I don't think that win against AJ Cunningham is as solid as what RONGZHU did to Quang Lee. I think Quang Lee would maul AJ Cunningham. So I was hesitant to pick this fight because I know Su Young is a very special guy on the ground. Strong, clever, but I thought about it more, and I think that RONGZHU is just going to be able to be like, all right, we're going to turn into you, or we're going to like start building a base and get back up. And then the striking Su Young does when he's getting hit, because he can. No, but really, yeah, the striking is a little lacking. I love the guy. I mean, he's fun on the ground and like he goes for shit, but on the feet it can be a little, with the hands at least. Seen him throw some good knees sometimes. But anyways, I do think RONGZHU wins. I think it'll be by decision. And who do I think is the favorite? I honestly think Su Young is the favorite, right? Su Young. Okay, so here's a greater value, better choice. Although still tough. That's a tough fight to pick. But yeah, wow. Su Young minus 120. Minus 120. RONGZHU plus 100. That could be a greater value. We'll see how the rest of those odds look like. But let's move on. YIZHA taking on Weston Wilson. Another one of these guys. I think YIZHA is more exciting to me. Slightly than like a RONGZHU. But they're very similar. They're very similar. Just sort of head down wrestlers that just... I mean, YIZHA got into a proper slobber knocker against Gabriel Santos. I picked Gabriel Santos, but man, he digs deeper. He digs deeper. And against Weston Wilson here, it is tough because Weston's not anybody to write home about. He got like his leg snapped in half by Joao Brito. But his frame, he's kind of a tall dude. And yeah, he came back and showed something against Jekka. I'm not a big Jekka guy. Oh yeah, and he also got sparked by Zhang. That's the one that was real brutal. But he sort of bounced back, and he was able to take some shots against Jekka. Yeah, because I picked Jekka there. Power. I'm a power slut. But this fight, I think I'm outsmarting myself, but I've been thinking like Weston Wilson might be live here. Because I think YIZHA will be the favorite. No, but in China, no. He digs deeper. He digs deeper. We do it. We do it for Mao. We do it for the party. Oh. Fuck. Nah. But YIZHA probably will be like a minus 170. Oh, you know what? That's an ass shaker moneymaker. Like, who is to say that he doesn't keep him at range, maybe pop him? The thing is that, yeah, YIZHA is pretty... Yeah, he's kind of stubborn. He's kind of stubborn. So he will just, okay, I'm just going to bull rush you. And we're going to go up against the cage, and then we'll deal with it there. Like, and I don't know if Weston can put that many damaging shots on him between him getting pressed up to the cage and staying on his feet and then, boxing. Dude, all right, I'm going to go YIZHA, but we're going to keep that. We're going to keep that bet. That might be the ass shaker moneymaker. I think YIZHA doesn't have it to finish. On the ground, he maybe could ground and pound him, a submission. I don't think so. I think Weston's way too big. Am I wrong? Am I seeing something here? Like, am I tripping? Because he's a minus 1,200. I mean, 5'9". 6'1". I don't know. Maybe I'm outsmarting myself, and we might have to change that bet. But I don't know. I feel like that nobody should be betting YIZHA. Nobody should be putting him in parlays. Nobody should be doing anything with him. Let's move on. Michel Pereira taking on Kyle DAUKUS. I'm going to say Michel Pereira knocks him out. I just don't want to talk about Michel Pereira. I think he's a disgusting person. He knocks him out in the first. And he's like a minus something. That's actually a greater value. That's a greater value, better choice. Let's take Weston Wilson off. We're not going with Weston. YIZHA's fighting for something bigger. He's putting the Great Wall on his back. Let's move on. RONGZHU taking on Austin Hubbard. RONGZHU, baby. That's our dude. I love RONGZHU. I love what he's about. And I know Austin Hubbard got fucking robbed recently against Alexander Hernandez, but let's talk about RONGZHU a little bit. Man, this guy went out there against Cody Steele. Cody, Mr. Short Bus, but still fuck the hottest chick at school. Cody Steele. And he went out there, and I picked Cody Steele. I was all over Cody Steele. I watched some of his shit. And I thought he was a drywall through and through, just not safe enough. A little too much ego. But I was already impressed with RONGZHU. Like I thought against CROSBIE, like that, he boxed the shit out of him, and he has had, like, you know, he's come back into the UFC. He was fought in the UFC when he was really young, and he's been looking sharp. I mean, his boxing is eternal. His framing, I really like it. I mean, he's got great eyes, great ability to draw out shots. And another tough fight, I feel like, because Austin Hubbard, he can make it nasty. He can rely on his wrestling. Got robbed against Hernandez. Against Medeiros, he was just outclassed, but gave him a hell of a fight. Like, I'm very high on Markel. I think Markel is new generation. He wants to box with people. He doesn't get taken down. He is a little gun shy whenever things get tough, but still, Austin Hubbard's a gamer. I think RONGZHU will be a heavy favorite here. Man, minus 200 as well, like minus 265. Do I do that instead of betting Michel Pereira? Yeah, because I don't ever want to be associated with him. He doesn't knock him out. Man, I always see decisions here. I've seen like last card, I saw a bunch of decisions didn't happen. This card, I'm seeing decisions again. But yeah, I like RONGZHU here. I think he can box him up. I think he's shown great ability of staying on his feet and even being offensive sometimes. I feel like the guy has actually shown that as well. And I don't know if Austin Hubbard has the answers for his quickness and his boxing. Let's move on. Loner Kavanaugh taking on Charles Johnson. Skullet gang. Skullet gang are fucking guys. Charles Johnson, man, one of the most disrespected fighters in the division, if not the UFC. Had to risk it. Had to risk it all against Temirov, like a lose-lose fight, pretty much. Where he kind of got boy-I-outed out of the octagon. It was tough. Temirov just hits hard as fuck. I think people also have to realize that Temirov is like these guys, Ochoa, Almabayev. These guys are they're sharp, and I don't know. Yeah, it just sucks that that's what's going on with Charles Johnson's career, because he was ranked, and I feel like he was a few fights away from being like maybe a contender for the belt, and I still think he is. But man, they lined him up again with another tough unranked fighter. Like, it's really bullshit. And it's like, man, this is a guy that brings a really fun style, is very tough. I do think against Temirov, he showed that when he finds a guy that has power, it becomes less about still implementing the game plan, which the game plan is solid from the beginning. It's using your long weapons, but it's tough to ask that from a fighter. I get it, because it's tough to ask somebody to still propose offensively when they know, hey man, I'm fighting against a guy that it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. If he touches them, lights are going out. Perhaps also against those guys, it comes down to trusting the footwork and being sort of geographically aware of the octagon. Like, man, just go out there, make sure you take the center, and then make sure that you're the one drawing out their shots. Because it felt like against Temirov, as much as Charles did utilize like the long weapons, he was using that teep, using the kicks, kind of jabbing out there. It wasn't to draw out his bigger shots. It was to, hey, we're going to sort of put a pace on you with this. That was the game plan. We're going to put a pace on you. And by the third round, it was happening. But I think perhaps just trusting the eyes, trusting the ability to perhaps just, hey, I'm showing this, I'm showing a lot, but I do want the power guy to throw at me first so that I can then land. And sort of, and it was tough because Timarov also, like, I mean, Timarov's fucking gamer. Like, Timarov can wrestle, and when he gets in close, he's very quick. Like, that overhands like that are special. And so, man, it sucks for Charles. I know a lot of people here are going Loner Kavanaugh, the fucking Helia video saying he's real good, whatever. I just think that it's a little too soon for Loner against a guy with the resume of Charles. I mean, this guy flatlined Joshua Van, another drywaller. But I don't know. If you go out there against, I don't know. He has had solid wins against Jose Ochoa. Now that, I mean, I know more about Jose Ochoa now. It's amazing. But I feel like against Felipe dos Santos, he was a little like, hey, you don't know how to deal with a guy that's aggressive. So that's got to be, maybe that's just got to be the route with Charles, is get in the kid's face, trust the wrestling, because if you're out in the middle, he's going to shoot. Because he's good everywhere, I feel like. And especially if Charles starts landing, which I think he will. I think Charles does have better striking, has more weapons because he'll have the height, the reach. So just, yeah, I think that Loner, it's just too much now for him, and he'll learn from this. And he's probably up next. I mean, this division is getting sort of a rehaul as well. But I'm going to go Charles Johnson. I don't know if Charles knocks him out. I think Charles might even lose the first round. Might even be, we've seen that Charles, hey, maybe this is me kind of showing, hey, there is a little bit of hesitancy with the game plans to, like, expect later rounds, because that's not always how it works. And one shot, you know, can compromise the whole fight. So I just always believe in just a consistent output through the fight. If not, yeah, try to get it done early. Just get it done early. That's what I believe in. That's Drywaller through and through. But yeah, I'm riding with CJ, and then we ride again. We ride the high seas. Let's go. Moving on. MAHESHATE taking on Gage Young. This should be a quick one. This will be a knockout. This is, I don't know why they did this to Gage Young, who only has one fight in the UFC, and it wasn't even against somebody that was proven. Yeah, it was Evan Elder. Like, Evan Elder's been around for a minute. He did give Quillen, and Quillen is pretty good. He did, like, kind of stand with Quillen, and, like, on the ground he was sort of dealing with Quillen, which that looks okay in hindsight. But yeah, Evan Elder, and now they're giving him MAHESHATE, who is, I mean, let's take a look at his resume. Dude has fought some dogs and has been in some scraps too. He's also been flatlined pretty bad, like against Borshev. Like, he's had that, and yeah, against Nicholas Mote, that was a war, dude. War. And I mean, we're finding out that Nicholas Mote just has wars, honestly. At least as of late. But yeah, MAHESHATE's built for that. He's big. They're fighting. They're fighting here at, they're fighting at lightweight. Tough, because I don't think MAHESHATE's like 6'1". He's a big lightweight. He's had to fight up at welterweight, and I don't know. I don't see Chase Young. I don't see Chase Young closing the distance. I don't see Chase Young being able to strike at all with him. This should be a pretty mismatched odds. Oh, let's look at Loner against Charles. I bet you they disrespect Charles. I hope they do, so we can get a dog barking off the collar. Loner minus 200. Wow. Dog barking off the collar. Easy. Wow. I'm all over that. I'm all over that. It is a little worrying that the books are willing to give Loner that much. 210, 2-1. I mean, not too crazy, but still, like, it's significant. And then, oh yeah, MAHESHATE against, I mean, this is gonna be minus 700, right? Are you fucking kidding me? What am I not seeing? What is MAHESHATE by knockout? What is MAHESHATE by round 1 knockout? Give me the crate. MAHESHATE round 1? Simple. That's as simple as it gets. Ooh, baby. I like these bets. We're already set. We're already set for the card. We're already set for the card. But yeah, MAHESHATE gets him out of there. What are they talking about? These guys are. It's also, hey, the books also don't know what I know. So yeah, there you have it. MAHESHATE gets him out in the first round. Moving on. Tayaki NUERAJI taking on Kiefer CROSBIE. I don't know much about this Tayaki guy. I saw his name. I know he kind of comes from one of those. He comes from one of those funny hat backgrounds. Like, he's not traditional Chinese, which I'm all about. I'm all over that. I really like that. But yeah, I saw that it was sort of this promotion that I don't know much about. And that was a little worrying. Kiefer CROSBIE, though, I can't believe he's still in the UFC. I feel like he's lost every one of his fights, right? And like Jusei, also Patterson. Yeah, they both just beat up on him. I don't know why he's still around. I mean, obviously, he might be a welcome to the UFC moment. That's probably what I'm seeing here against an 11-1 guy in China. Oh, man. But I don't know. I also don't believe in that. I feel like they're trying to sneak something in there that might be an upset. I don't know. I saw this and I was like, oh, I'm also like a Kiefer CROSBIE guy because I feel like we would have fought alongside each other in the Irish Defense Forces or whatever. But yeah, what am I going to pick here? Let me look at. I'm going to go Kiefer CROSBIE. But it's funny hat. No, I can't go against funny hats. Does he knock him out? No, this is. Tayaki NUERAJI. All right, let's look at the odds. I think he's probably going to be a minus 300. Yeah, because I'm outsmarting myself. And Kiefer CROSBIE, as much as he tries to be fun, and I just have like this boxing bias, he's just, I could see him not being really built for this. Not a lot of tape study on NUERAJI. A lot of vibes on that pick, but you know, why not? Why not maybe throw some money on Kiefer CROSBIE? Who knows? SUMUDAERJI taking on Kevin BORJAS. This should be a quick hitter. I liked betting on Sue his last fight. I liked what he brought. It was close, but that's pretty much all I had to see, was that it was close against a guy that truthfully should be fighting at like 155, 115, and Mitch Raposo. And on the other side, Kevin BORJAS, what he did to Ronaldo Rodriguez is he'll forever be good in my neighborhood. He doesn't need to check in. He does not need to check in. I am all on Kevin BORJAS on this fight. As much as Sue is, whatever, fighting at home, has everything for him. I hope that Sue is somehow a favorite, like a minus 180. Holy shit. BORJAS minus 145. Do I prefer that over Charles Johnson getting my heart broken? No, Charles. Nah, we'll ride for Skullet, gang. We'll ride for Skullet, gang, but the people need their money. And so, my brother, we're going to go ahead and give everybody the money. Okay? Everybody going to eat. But yeah, I think Kevin on the feet has way more for him. Kevin has some names. He's had to fight fucking Josh Van. He's had to fight yeah, Alessandro Costa. Like, dude, these are dogs. These are dogs. And outside of Alessandro Costa, which Alessandro Costa never fights, but he's very good. Trust me when I say that. He's performed really well. Borjas is kind of a demon on the feet, and he's figuring things out on like in the wrestling and grappling departments. So I am all over that. So let's move on. This is a great big boy fight. I'm so looking forward to this. I know that Sergey looks like somebody took the light out of his eyes. Somebody took his soul, and perhaps that did happen after Tom sparked him. But he did get right. He got right against Jairzinho, and then they cut Biggie Boy, which does not look good in a lot of different ways. For the UFC, for Sergey. But either way, I am all over Sergey in this fight. I think he's back. I think that Russians, whenever they do go through that sort of like a depression, it's harsh, it's severe. He's probably done unspeakable things. If you really like thinking about what that guy has done to like fight those demons, scary. Live leak type stuff. But I think he's done it. I think he's gotten that out of his system. And now they're serving him up a Waldo Cortez that is streaking. He's streaking, but he's kind of been having to fight guys that, I mean, with Span, that's a Span that was, I think, his first fight up in at UFC. It looked awful. I mean, UFC in heavyweight looked awful. Robella's kind of a gimmick now, doing the karate FC stuff or whatever. Don't ask me how much money I lost betting on Robella's. And then Spivak, he did put on sort of a performance, but still not enough. Because, as I always say, I think that you need to implement some sort of dominance. And some fighters can pick their poison depending on the fight, but it has to be like an ability to do that and express it. And I don't know if Waldo, as much as he's gotten wins, I don't know if Waldo has sort of created any sort of game plan that I look at and I say, oh, he really imposed his will. Against Robelis, yes, but once again, Robelis like doesn't know what the fuck he's doing on the ground. I mean, he's down there with his coloring books. Like, it's a mess. And I think a guy like Sergey, who knows what he is very explosive in a way that I think Waldo does exploit his explosiveness, but he doesn't even have Sergey explosiveness. Like, I think it's a really tough fight for him, for Waldo. And I think Sergey's back. I think Sergey knocks him out. Sergey knocks him out and quick. I think he jumps all over him. And I know that Big Ebo, Salsa Boy has boxing. It's kind of like he might even be like, hell yeah, like let's do this. This is like a welcoming thing. Like I'm facing this head on, but dude, you got to remember who Sergey is. Like this is not your typical heavyweight, Bauer even. Like, I think he's still the hardest puncher at heavyweight currently. So I think that he catches Waldo, and he's going to go out there and be his regular, like, let's finish this shit in the first round type fighter. He's probably a minus 500. That's a greater value. I might want to go to that instead of RONGZHU. I kind of want to, yeah. Yeah, and if you will recall, Waldo is also one of these guys that kind of started doing MMA later on in life. Like, did baseball, which I know that guys defy the odds all the time, but Sergey been doing this. And I think that the opponents that Waldo has had, not really there. And they were kind of a lot of asterisks around those wins. Meanwhile, Sergey is who Sergey is. So I'm riding with Sergey. Let's move on. And he will be the greater value, better choice. And let's move on here. Brian Ortega taking on Aljamain Sterling. This one should be honestly, this is pretty simple. No, though, Aljo is... Why do I do this? It's going to be hilarious, but Ortega's going to win this fight. He's going to, yeah, I already can sense it. Like, this dude, Aljamain, is complaining about having to go 5 rounds and that, like, Ortega was the one that wanted it, but they're not getting, you know, there's no incentive. I think that maybe, once again, you're not understanding the multi-level marketing, the premiums and incentives and the packages that come with Brian Ortega. There's always going to be a hidden fee. He's always going to get his. And hey, it's because he's enlightened. He's found nirvana. So he can just miss weight because fuck it. And I'm Brian Ortega. What are you going to do about it? I've hustled you this far, this much. Are you just going to, like, cut me? No. Dana feels like he can get something out of this guy. He's probably hating that he matched him up against someone who's going to want to wrestle. But I think it backfires on him. And I think that Brian is able... Man, if Aljamain does backpack him, though... Am I saying this completely wrong? No, I think Brian is so funny. Like, he's also very unpredictable. He kind of is like a C-Rod. Christian Rodriguez, where it's just like, these guys are so unpredictable. Like, I know whenever he does stand and bang with guys, that's when he can sort of like, oh, wow, like crazy shit happens because he is so tough and he wears people down. But if he just gets smushed and then Aljo backpacks him, starts taking air out of him, Aljamain could get him out of there. And Brian's striking somehow looked worse against Diego than it's ever looked. Like, I don't know what he was doing with, like, one of his jabs. It was awful. But I'm going to ride. I don't know why I do this. I'm going to ride with Ortega. What is it? Aljamain minus 250. Minus 395. I'm changing my pick. I think Sterling does get him out of there. I just think, yeah, Ortega is somehow able to perform better against strikers because he just makes them tire themselves out on his face. Like, just shooting at it. Pause. But I think Aljamain just gets on his back, takes him down, and Brian can set up submissions. But against a guy who is so dominant in wrestling, like against Volk, he was able to kind of reverse him. But I don't think he reverses Aljamain. And I definitely don't think he gets any chokes on him. And then he's not going to want to go back up on his feet. He's going to play with him on the ground. And I think Sterling then gets more dominant position more often. But that's the pick. All right, moving on. Johnny Walker taking on Ming Yang Zhang. It's gonna be a murder. It's gonna be a murder, right? Also, the more people think that it's gonna be like an execution live on air, the more I'm like, oh, watch Johnny Walker go out there, and now we're talking about Johnny Walker again at 205. Like, dude, that's just how this sport fucking is. Like, I mean, I love it. I like fights. We love fights. We don't care who knows it, but goddamn. I think in front of the Chinese crowd, this is easy money. Minus 600, minus 700, minus 365. That's actually pretty great value. But I think Zhang gets him out of there pretty early. He's a solid fighter. Very aggressive. Knows how to find the chin. Great boxing. Fast, and hits hard. Maybe Johnny Walker goes out there and kind of wrestles him and zaps that out of him. I mean, God knows Johnny Walker's gas tank isn't anything special, but that's the pick. Let's go over the bets. Ass shaker moneymaker is going to be MAHESHATE to get Gage Young out of there in the first round, plus 750 by knockout, or by anything, actually. Well, I wonder if by knockout is even juicier. Look at that by knockout. Kevin Borjas is going to be your dog barking off the collar at plus 145 money line. And then your greater value, better choice is going to be Sergey Spivak minus 270. There you have it. Drywallers, shot callers, everyone in between. Another week in the books. China, thank you. Jinping, thank you for your hospitality. Love the presidential suite. And drywallers, don't you forget. Don't you ever forget. The big train never stops.